Roll up and listen to Incense and Ashtrays with Dwan B. Music for your soul.
Damn, it's a lot going on around here. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? A lot going on today. I will need to take a break in about an hour or so. I got somebody coming by the house to work on something. So I'm gonna have to let the motherfucker in. So if I take a pause break in about an hour or so, that's what I'm doing. You dig what I'm saying? Welcome y'all to that intelligent-ish talk, that intelligent shit talk. Today is more of an incense and ashtrays than Hotepish. We here to talk about some music. We got Black Music Month coming out next month. And so we throwing a word out there now, early, so we can celebrate. We see what's going on in the mainstream. They're trying to turn Black Music Month into LGBTQ Pride Month and trying to have that overshadow Black Music Month. That is not going to happen on our watch. With respect to the LGBTQ community, y'all listen to Black music. So, hey, first is first. The LGBTQ community, y'all like that song, I'm Coming Out? That's Diana Ross. That's Black music. Y'all like that? You know, y'all like those all of those disco songs and EDM songs where y'all snort cocaine and have a gay fun fairy time? That's all Black music you party to. So hey, first things first, we celebrating Black Music Month first. And if you don't like it, hey, you can move the LGBTQ Pride Month to some other month. You can move it to July. You can move it to August. Make it May. I don't give a damn. But June, since 1979, Jimmy Carter administration, June is Black Music Month. And we're going to keep it that way. God damn it. Listen to this ad and we're going to get right back to it.
The Cosmic Alignment Workshop, Sunday, May the 15th. That's Sunday, May the 15th, featuring King Simon, the Numeral Veda. And don't forget, the one, the only, Coach Helen, spiritual business and Zen bar owner, with Blue Pillar 44, the 44 resonator, alongside the one, the only, Ellison Nedra, the modern day sage. All happening at the Cosmic Alignment Workshop on May the 15th. Go get your tickets right now at zenbar.org. That's www.zenbar.org. That's right, it's the
That's our brother, King Simon. We'll be doing his workshop. Please sign up for it. I'll tell y'all right now, everything I do is all about healing. You know, we all need to get healed in different areas of our life. And I'm telling y'all right now, numerology is not no spooky little, it's not no spooky yuki dookie. Ain't nothing like that going on with numerology. Numerology is our ancient science, and a lot of questions you have can be answered through readings. Text King Simon for an appointment, 347-496-1022. Let him know I sent you there. I'm telling you right now, like I've said before, I get a reading with King Simon about once a year. And that, ever since I've been doing that, that's done a really good job of setting my course of action over the next year. Using the numbers. What are the numbers? People be thinking numbers is just a math problem in school we did back in algebra. No. This whole life thing we own is numbers. Stop using numbers to quote arbitrary basketball stats that you don't know how to explain, and use numbers to decode your life and your path. You dig. Text King Simon. What up, y'all? Let me get some of my preaching music on, and then we're going to get started. Then I'm going to read some of y'all in the chat room. Let me get some of my... Gotta get the music right. We're going to be talking about celebrating Black music. Shouts out to Duncan Penderhughes on the mix. What y'all talking about in the chat room? What's up, everybody in the chat room? 254, Dr. Sinister, Evan, Deep Impressions. Thank y'all for joining the chat. Turn this down so on my end. Turn that music down a little bit. There we go. I want y'all to be able to hear my voice. Salute to everybody up in here. What's up, Bruce? What's up, America's Maker? Positive Influence. Mid 2500. What's up, Court? We are here celebrating Black Music Month. Here's why. Look, we know Black Music Month is not till June. But first of all, you cannot encapsulate Black music into 1 month when Black music is the base for all music that's come after we done did our thing. You can't narrow our music down to 1 month. And on top of that, I'm totally 100,000% down with labeling music Black music. Here's the difference. We got to change the position we put Black music in. What generally happens when you watch and these documentaries and you listen to talk on music, what they generally do is they other black music. What do I mean by other? They'll talk about Eric Clapton as if he's the mainstream, but Johnny Guitar Watson, the person Eric Clapton got his whole sound from, is the other. They'll talk about funk as if it's some black thing on the side, on the fringes over there, but they won't talk to you as if that's the nucleus for the Red Hot Chili Peppers and what they did. They'll say black music is some other thing when they're talking about Muddy Waters and Bo Diddley and the blues. But the Rolling Stones and the Beatles are derivatives of the black music. Every component of black music is the nucleus of everything that comes after it. We have to get that clear. And during Black Music Month, we must have that message be out there loud and clear, because not only are they trying to other black music, they turned around and made Black Music History Month LGBTQ History Month or whatever. Thank you, Obama. Jimmy Carter in the late 70s with a push from Gamble and Huff got June officially recognized as Black Music Month. President Jimmy Carter signed that into an act in 1979. But we don't need their approval to have a Black Music Month. Yes, we'll take it. But one thing we're not going to do is allow these other groups to leech off of our month and say, hey, this is our month too. Patty cake, patty cake, patty cake. No. We must take this as an opportunity to highlight and celebrate our music, which is the roots of all world music. What's up, Quan S? What's up, everybody in the chat room? Wally Gibson, I'm glad you asked. Is my music tree done? No, it's not, but I spent the last hour on the phone with my designer, my graphic designer, and we're still, the tree is almost done. It's almost done. But I will give you guys a preview. How about that? I will give y'all a preview of the tree. This is the preview of the tree. It's not all done yet. But you see here, interwoven, look what my mouse is. Slave, you can't read that right there. But that's slave folk spirituals. That's syncopated dance music. I'm talking about the sounds that were in the roots. The sounds that came before blues and jazz. The sounds that came before ragtime. The sounds that came before recorded music. The music that we were playing either as freemen or as slaves on Sundays. All of that leads into what we now see, the larger music family. I guarantee you this tree will be done by the beginning of Black Music Month. It will be done by then. But I want y'all to look at it. Look at this. Look. Have y'all ever seen anything so beautiful? Don't you agree? Because we birthed this thing. Some of the placements are still out of order. Like I said, the final version is not done yet. So some of these places aren't where I want them to be. But for the most part, this is how the tree is going to look. All music comes from the blues and jazz. The blues is where we get the structure and the harmonies. Jazz is where we get the melodies. And when you combine the blues and the jazz, that's where you get rock and roll and R&B. I will be selling this as posters. There will be an NFT version of this. And also they will be on t-shirts. And also on canvas. All of this is going to be available on incenseandashtrays.com and also on hotepish.com. But as you see, black music is the base for everything. Whether we're talking about the Appalachian sound or yodeling, bluegrass, rockabilly blues, acid, Brit pop, that's pop music in Britain, grunge, heavy metal, death metal, which by the way is far more egregious than they tell you about. They like talking to black people about drill music, and drill music is bad. I don't fuck with it. But death metal has been around longer and it's been more deadly. I'm going to point that out in the tree. Death metal, they have music that talks about, again, we started it with rock and roll. And then the white folks took it. We even started it with heavy metal because heavy metal starts with Jimi Hendrix and Funkadelic. Then when they took it, they found a way to turn that shit into some death metal. Death metal has music to where they're talking about raping children and murdering people and drinking blood from the people that they murdered. Yeah, death metal is some sick shit. And it's been around since the 80s. But they want to talk to you about drill music. Something that's been, and that, again, I don't support drill music at all. But it ain't the most deadly form of music that's out there. Death metal by far has killed a lot more people. Then you go into the funk. Go-go comes out of the funk. Afrobeat comes out of the funk. Hip-hop comes out of the funk. Chicano rap comes out of the funk. These are all things that we must know as people. That's why I'm putting it on a shirt and on a poster. And the book is coming along with it, but the book is a little far off because I'm still finishing my other book that I'm doing right now. So the book, the book on this tree is it's probably gonna come out towards the end of the year, maybe sometime next year. Cause I still got another book that I'm finishing, and this book here is gonna require a lot of references. I'm gonna source and cite my materials within this book. So for those who want further knowledge, they can get it. But you see, we've gone into P-Funk. We have now what we call jazz hop, Butcher Brown, music like that. You got the crunk sound, the hyphy sound out of Oakland, the trap sound down south, mainstream hip hop. That's what I coined that term, mainstream hip hop. That's what I consider Drake. And yes, this tree will hurt some feelings, but hey, I don't give a damn about your feelings because no one ever cares about black people's feelings when they eating off our music. So excuse me if I don't give a fuck about yours when I put whatever genre you like in its proper category. But you see how you got your Drake and your hip hop, and then you got hip hop and B, actually hip hop is let me take that back. Hip hop is a term that I got from Urban X. Shouts out to Black Dot. I don't want to take credit for that. I put the mainstream on top of hip hop. It's something that got put in my mind from Urban X. Shouts out to Urban X. I'm not going to take credit for what Urban X put in my mind the term hip hop, a separate category. Because I don't care what y'all say, I'm not going to put Drake in a category with Ice Cube. That just no. They're far different forms of music. What Nas does and what Drake does is different. Much love to both, but they're different. Hip hop and B, that's my term. That's what I call this hybridization of hip hop / trap sounds, but it's supposedly R&B. That stuff you get from The Dream and these people, that Cardi B, where somewhat rapping, somewhat singing. And then, of course, you got K-pop, what the Asians are doing. Basically, K-pop is an extension of 90s R&B. Then you got the R&B rap fusion genre. You see disco. People say disco is dead. No, the fuck it ain't. Disco is still alive. Through everything you see on this branch of the tree. Techno, house, Euro house, EDM, reggaeton, UK garage, dubstep, trance, deep house, Latin pop. That's all a derivative of disco. You got R&B. Most people don't know that. Gospel music is a derivative of R&B. A lot of people think gospel came first. No, it didn't. We had our slave spiritual, but gospel music was the church's reaction to this new sound of the youth, rock and roll / R&B. And out of that, we get doo-wop, the Motown sound, the Philadelphia sound, and Stax. But if you look right here, out of the Motown sound, out of doo-wop, you get ska and reggae. For the Jamaicans that want to claim R&B, no. The ones that want to claim hip-hop, no. Your sound is a child of R&B. No questions. Hands down. Sit down and listen. Don't talk. Just say thank you for the sound that we gave your island, Busta Rhymes. Just say thank you for the spirit we gave your island, Pete Rock. And all of these out of nowhere Jamaicans that want to take our sound and say it's theirs. Sit your ass down, and I mean all the way down. Both butt cheeks square on the seat. As a matter of fact, take a whole stadium full of seats. Take a Rose Bowl stadium, all 100,000 seats in a Rose Bowl. Use them all for your ass. And then we get over to jazz. And I'm going to do a whole series on this tree. Some of it's going to be on my Patreon, but most of it isn't. The Patreon is only going to have the part where I play the music, because I can't play music on YouTube. So the Patreon part, the lower tier, this tree is going to be taught in greater detail on the Patreon, and I'm going to play the music that goes along with it. Sorry to do it to you. I'd rather not charge, but I can't do it for free because YouTube won't let me. You dig? But out of jazz, you get bebop. And bebop is the mold for hip hop. Out of bebop, thank you, Dizzy Gillespie, Art Blakey, Charlie Parker, Max Roach. That's where the militancy in jazz came. When black people don't understand, when we came out with bebop was to music what hip hop was 50 years later. You had your swing at the time, Count Basie, Duke Ellington, and the big band sound. That was the sound of the older folks. And then when bebop came in, it revolutionized music. Bum 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 bum. Bebop changed the way the horn was played. It changed the way music was sang. Thank you, Ella Fitzgerald. Thank you, Billie Holiday. And bebop set out another movement within its own. Out of bebop, you get bossa nova, you get salsa music, you get Latin jazz. I said this on my live the other night. Latin jazz is bebop come intersecting with Cuban sounds, Puerto Rican sounds in New York. When the Latin sound in New York meets Dizzy Gillespie, you get Latin jazz. When the Cuban music in New York meets Art Blakey, Max Roach, Charlie Parker in their harmonies, you get salsa music. When the Brazilian sound meets bebop and the melodies of bebop, you get bossa nova. Yeah, Sarah Vaughan's another one. I didn't put her name in there. And then you get the most current iteration of jazz hip hop fusion at the bottom. That's what I call Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly album. True jazz and hip hop. So yeah, we doing all this in the music family tree. You guys can't see it here, but right here in the middle, I got spoken word. That's your poetry. And I have stand-up comedy. Most people don't know the art of stand-up comedy comes from the black juke joints of the South. What they call the Chitlin Circuit. And if you go back and listen to my interview with Mr. Bobby Rush, he talks about that. Mr. Rush talks about how on the Chitlin Circuit, you couldn't just play the guitar. You couldn't just sing. You couldn't just play the piano. You had to be a well-rounded performer. So that meant cracking jokes too. Did y'all know Moms Mabley used to sing? Did you know Red Fox used to sing? Did you know Richard Pryor started out singing? The legends of stand-up comedy were also musicians. Same thing with Pig Meat Markham, the rapper. Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. He was also a stand-up comedian. Same with Muddy Waters, the greatest guitarist before the loud electric amp came in. All of these things are creations from foundational Black Americans. That's what these things are. They all are creations. And we must wear that with pride, Black people. We must know that we the shit. Oh yeah, Bill Cosby too. Hey, Bill Cosby got an album I love. This is one album he has with Quincy Jones. I love that album. Hell, my father-in-law did an album, did 2 albums with Bill Cosby. Silver Throat. Mr. Carmichael arranged and produced those songs with Bill Cosby back in 1968. This song right here. Yeah, Mr. Carmichael produced this. I was trying to ask him some questions about producing his album, and his answer to me was, man, that was so long ago. He's like, man, I don't remember that much shit in 1968, man. He's worked with so many legends. He done forgot more than he remembers when it comes to these legendary artists that he worked with. There's a reason why if you go back and watch that documentary on the Comedy Store on Fat Tuesday, the Fat Tuesdays documentary on Amazon Prime, they talk about how hip hop and comedy merged at Def Comedy Jam at the Comedy Store. But that's why I always encourage the knowledge of our history to our people and knowledge of our music. Because a lot of us, unfortunately, we see our music as these separate things. Even though this tree, even though I may have bossa nova way over here or smooth jazz on this end of the tree, and I got G-funk on that end of the tree, there's still family. And what you'll find is the same musicians that are pulling off smooth jazz and jazz fusion, these oftentimes are the same musicians that are behind funk, that are behind hip hop, and behind house music and the blues. See, it's the European that came in and started with these segregating our sounds as if there's something different. Now, there are differences because every sound that you play has its own groove. Every sound you play has its own feel. So you do play them differently, but they still come from the same tree of music. For instance, as a drummer, if I'm playing funk, I gotta sit my ass back in that pocket, play behind the beat, slow it down. Funk, if the beat is here, when it's funk, you hit that snare here. You see how that clap I put is just slightly behind the beat? You know what that does when I do that as the drummer? It provides a pocket for you as the dancer to dance between the beats. Because that's how we as black people dance. That's how we move as a people. We move between the beat. That's why you hear people say, hey, that music got a groove. That song is groovy. Groove. Groove is the ridge, that space, that pocket between two ridges. And that's the place black people find our rhythm. Versus if the producer says, okay, we're going to play classic rock. Now I know as a drummer to play just ahead of the beat. I'm going to speed it up from 81 BPM, from 90 BPM to about 110 beats per minute. And if I'm playing classic rock, if the beat is here, I play right on top of that. I don't delay it. Because classic rock, that's a sound, and rock and roll, and it's still our music, but that's a sound that white people tend to like more. White people can't dance between the beat. And this ain't being racist, this is just true. When that pocket's a little bit too deep, when there's too much space between the beats, it's really tough for white people and non-black people, not just white people, Asians, all of these non-black people. It's really tough for them to find the groove. So you can't give them that much space. You gotta speed it up and be right on top of the beat. Subtle differences make a world of difference in the sound of music. But again, black people, this is all what we created. When you get into these other forms of music, whether it be Brazilian house, rockabilly blues, that's mostly white folks, Brit pop, Chicano rap, alternative rock, these are the changes that we made to their music. How do you know you're the dominant culture? The dominant culture is the culture that when two cultures meet, the culture that maintains its integrity is the dominant culture. The culture that acquiesces its sound to the other sound is the subculture. We can break this down from a straight up anthropological point of view. It is anthropologically incorrect to other black music. Because when black music touches other people's music, they change, not us. We incorporate what they do, but the foundation of what's done is what we created. That's how this thing works. That's why we can say definitively when black people intersect with other cultures, our music is the dominant sound that comes out of it. That's either true or it's not true. And if it isn't true, tell me what is. If it ain't true, we've had as a people such an impact on the world we don't even know, man. We don't even be knowing our impact that we've had on this planet with our music. The drum set. This is my drum set, by the way. My sample packs will be coming out pretty soon, but I'm not going to do them on live drum samples yet. I'm not going to launch that website yet. My drum samples are going to be coming on swagsample.com pretty soon. That's the Grammy Award winning Jarvis Mosey, his sample pack site. I will be putting my packs on his site. And they'll be coming out sometime next month. This is my drum set. But this is the reason we can definitively say when our music intersects with other music, our music wins. They adopt our bandstand, not the other way around. A sound is only as good as its bandstand. A sound takes on the energy and the pulse of the instruments used to create the sound. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, rap existed before funk. You see, I have rap down here under jazz, because it was jazz where a lot of your early rap is heard from. But when you playing a swing, when you playing a swing, the rap don't quite have a pocket. Sounds good. But it wasn't until rap intersected with funk. Again, going as how two opposite sides of the tree are still family members. Even though rap is on this side of the tree and funk is on that side of the tree, doesn't make it any less family. It wasn't until rap intersected with funk, soul, disco, R&B that it got the pocket that it has now for you to rap in. It wasn't until James Brown flipped it and put it on the one that rap got his pocket to become what we now know as hip hop. See, I had to put this into a tree because it's one thing to say, black people, we created it all, but it's another thing to see it. And I know other people have done music trees before. I'm not reinventing, I'm not doing anything that hasn't been done before. There are music trees out there. But this is the first tree that tells 100% of the truth without fear of what white people may think. Why do I say that? Because most of your trees you see put out there, especially through academia, they're still going to bend the knee to white society. They're still going to try to make white folks feel good and make them feel as if they play a part in this, as if they had some kind of influence in this. And fact of the matter is they don't. Not to say that there aren't great white musicians, there are. Hell, it's a lot of white musicians that played a part in this thing as we developed it as a people. Rod Temperton, salute to you. One of the greatest songwriters ever. The Funk Brothers with Motown always had some white musicians. The band at Stax Record always had a few white musicians. Hell, Sly and the Family Stone, the first real crossover funk group, had white musicians. The drummer, man, that motherfucker was cold from Sly and the Family Stone. Sly and the Family Stone had white musicians, and they also had women. Cynthia Stone on trumpet. So white people did definitely play a part in this thing. Salute to them. Hell, white musicians and white people have far more acclaim than anybody from the Caribbean. Caribbean folks, and this is not a diss to all of y'all, but for the ones that's trying to step out of line and claim our shit, you got to get behind white Americans before you say anything. Sit in line. But like I say before, if you're building a house, if you're constructing a house, and you're the architect, you're the primary contractor, if you subcontract out to a white person to install the electrical system, or to a Jamaican person to help with the plumbing system, thank you for helping. But this house was being built whether we contracted you out or not. While at the same time, thank you for your contributions. You have no say in the ownership of this house. Thank you for helping water the grass. But you have no say in the construction of this house. That's just true. Okay? I'm gonna put this tree up so we can be a little more clear, so y'all can see the roots. This is the white. See, y'all see what I did right here? And it's still being worked on. I'm about to move over here where it says game songs and sacred music. I'm about to interweave this in the roots, because this bottom row here goes back to the 1600s. I'm gonna put that all up in the roots. And what we have right here in the stock of the tree: syncopated brass bands, syncopated dance music, arranged choir quartet, slaves, folk, spiritual. You see, the slave stuff is very small. We weren't just slaves, people. We were also free men during the same time, providing the sound of America. So yes, The tree is almost here. Me and my graphic designer, I think today was like our 15th revision of this tree. Because it got to be right. It got to be right. Okay? It got to be right. So this is why we starting celebrating black music a month early. Matter of fact, we're not going to just keep it to June. We're going to celebrate black music year round. Black music is to be celebrated year round. Why? Because it's listened to year round. People don't take time off stealing our shit. So we ain't going to take time off praising our shit. Dig what I'm saying? People don't take time stealing our shit. We ain't taking time off praising our shit. Why am I doing this? Because black history, black culture, music is the soundtrack to it. Everything we've done historically has a soundtrack to go along with it. And you can often find is your history through your music. A lot of the history that I speak on, a lot of that stuff I learned listening to music documentaries and documentaries on different artists. What they do is when they're talking just straight up black history, they sort of leave some things out. But when they talk music history, they tend to be more open to what was going on with black history at the time these songs were created, that they're talking about. So you can get a lot of our history out of your music documentaries. Because a lot of times in documentaries, when they're documenting a particular artist, they'll talk about what inspired a particular song to be written. And then you'll hear about what was going on in Black America at the time that artist wrote that song. Because music is our life interpreted through sound, through instruments. So it's time for us as black people to maintain and to, we've been asleep for a little bit. You know what I mean? We fought a lot. The civil rights movement really got started in the 1920s, 30s, and we see it came to a head in the 60s. So in the 70s, we took a break. We started relaxing. 80s, we relaxed. 90s, we had the Malcolm X movie that came out, and black people talking about, the red, black, and green again in the 90s. But that was short-lived. Puffy came out with his bad boy sound. Jay-Z started telling niggas that being a real man is wearing the right suit and being a better consumer. And we went back to sleep throughout the late 90s and early 2000s. We starting to wake up again. But I think this time, this awakening is permanent. So as we wake up, we must go back and claim what's ours. With no apologies. We take it back. We don't ask for it back. We take it. They didn't get permission from us to steal what we made. We don't need permission to take it back. We just take it back and stand on it. And to those who have issues with us taking it back, they can drink some warm milk and go to sleep. Please share. Please share. Let people know that we here. Somebody asked in the chat room, I saw the chat go by real fast. What's game songs? Oh, Mary Mac, 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 all dressed in black, black, black. Damon and Shantae sitting in the tree. Kissing. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes Damon with the baby carriage. Y'all remember them kind of songs? That's us. Those are your game songs. We are the sound that makes this thing crack off. So we must own that. We must own that. And we also got to know this, black people. As we own our music, it will piss people off. Very few things piss people off than black people owning our shit. If you want to see some people get mad, be black and stand 10 toes down over something. If you want to see people get angry, stand on your square and watch them get mad. But they can get mad all they want. It don't matter. They anger don't change shit. Without our music, their music is back to that ting 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 shit they was playing before they heard James Brown. And that's just true. There's no Afro beat without Miles Davis and James Brown. There's no reggaeton without Stevie Wonder. Yes, this contradicts white supremacy. You're right. See, we don't fight with rights. We don't fight on their terms. We fight on our terms. That's power. Power is bringing the fight to your terms of the fight. And here's how we can fight it. We don't, see, this is what happens. Let's break down some communication talk. The party asking the questions and setting the terms and the parameters of the argument is the party in power. The party asking the questions, the party setting the rules of engagement is the party that's in power. We'll never be powerful reacting to what they say. We'll never be powerful busting down their lies. We're still, the reason why you'll never be powerful like that is because you're allowing them to, you're reacting to the terms that they set. We don't need to react, black people. All we have to do is tell the truth. Y'all see when I did that video that went viral, the R&B roots of reggae? I didn't have to fight Jamaicans. When Jamaicans said that they owned hip hop, I didn't need to go back and forth with them over who owns hip hop. All I had to do was tell them, hold on. We own your music. And then once I make that statement, answer who, what, when, where, and why. Always remember that. The lessons we learned in school, how to write an essay, how to formulate an argument, those lessons apply in life. That wasn't no shit just to get an A in class. If you want to make a statement and you want to prove something, you have to answer who, what, where, why, and sometimes how. So if other people want to say they created hip hop, they're never able to answer who, what, when, where, and how. Or if they do, they stop in 1971, 1974. See, if they start the history in 1974, they can sound like they're making some sense. But when it comes to black people, All right. They can start the clock at 1971. We start the clock at 1611. Down here. Here on the North American landmass that we call the United States of America. Our clock starts in the 1600s. When it comes to recorded music, our clock starts in the 19 teens, 1920s. You want to know where R&B got its groove from? You see this little piece right here in the pit, on the armpit of the music tree? Stride piano, improvisational. That's Louis Armstrong. That's Fats Waller. My very first man, the milkman. That's Fats Waller. That's R&B and rock and roll before R&B and rock and roll. Man, I don't think we understand the scope of how influential we are as people. That's why we must take the time. We must take the time to celebrate black music. While we celebrating black music, I do want to give a happy birthday shout out to Greg Feeling Gaines. Greg Mouse Feeling Gaines. Remember that show, LA Live, that used to be on BET? Mouse, no, was it Vibe? Remember that show Vibe back in the 90s? Remember Mouse? He was the music director. That's Greg Feeling Gaines. Happy birthday to Greg Feeling Gaines, the most recorded artist in music history. Greg Feeling Gaines has recorded more music than anyone in the history of music. Whether you're talking about him playing the keyboard for Eric Clapton, Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, all across the board, Greg Feeling Gaines has recorded with them. If you go back and listen to the song I Can't Help It by Michael Jackson, do you know the song Can't Help It by Michael Jackson was written by Michael Jackson's cousin? Do you know who Michael Jackson's cousin is? None other than the great Stevie Wonder. Yes, they're cousins. Yes, they're cousins. Stevie Wonder wrote I Can't Help It. But when Stevie Wonder wrote Can't Help It, it had more of a Latin feel. Again, because although we call it Latin, the Latin sound was still born here in North America out of New York. So we can lay claim to that too. Although we don't, as the people, we don't mind you having yours. Y'all go ahead and take it. Just remember who daddy is. All right? Can't Help It was had more of a Latin groove to it. Greg Feeling Gaines came in and said, you know what? Latin ain't the feel for this song. We got to go more deep R&B. And that's when he switched up and went to doom, 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 doom. Looking in the mirror. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Which later on Pharrell used as the bridge. What song did Pharrell use that bridge to I Can't Help It on his song? It was what's that Pharrell song? I'm drawing a blank. Nigga, that shit just left my mind. But they used the bridge from I Can't Help It throughout the whole song. That was Greg Feeling Gaines. Happy birthday to Greg Mouse feeling game. See, on Incense and Ashtrays, shouts out to Butter Love, shouts out to Evan in the chat room, Quanes, Star. I appreciate y'all for being regulars on Incense and Ashtrays. What's up, brother Torian Rain? Torian put out a dope-ass video last week. He put out a few good-ass videos. I don't know if you saw, brother. I've been retweeting your videos, Torian Rain. Keep killing them, my brother. Keep killing them with the information. Big love to Torian Rain in the chat room. Y'all go subscribe to that brother's channel. Please subscribe to that brother's channel. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier when I was talking about funk, you play behind the beat. You know, similar to Josh Hawkins' hairline. Josh Hawkins' hairline is behind the forehead. Like, funk is behind the beat. You dig? I'm just fucking with you, Josh. Salute to you, my brother. Much love to you, my man. Just fucking with you. But here, we must always know that, you know, especially our sound, the 70s was the culmination of everything that came before it. I always say the 70s is the greatest era of music because it was the culmination of all forms of music before it being put into one sound through Earth and Fire, through Parliament, through the Isley Brothers, through the Ohio Players, through the Stevie Wonder, through Marvin Gaye, through many great artists of the 70s. And since the 70s, everything has been basically a remodification, a duplication of what was done in the 70s. There has been some innovation, but most of it's all rooted in the 70s music. Which leads me to King Kendrick and his new song, The Heart. If y'all listen to King Kendrick's new song, what do you hear? People are talking about the video with all the different facial expressions he's putting up. I hear the music. You see how Kendrick, the production of that song was none other than a remake of Marvin Gaye. I Want You. And Lord, I wish I was on in Cincinnati Mixcloud right now. I can't play it right now because we're not on Mixcloud. But Kendrick's new great masterpiece of a hit is I Want You. Produced by Leon Ware. I want y'all to go back and take another look at that album. As a matter of fact, I might break that album down. I think on one of these Incense and Ashtrays, I'm gonna break down some Marvin Gaye, and I'm gonna break down that album. Because if you go back and listen to that song, I Want You, listen to Leon Ware's cinematic approach to that song and that album. It sounds like you're going into a movie. It sounds like a drama scene from a movie. That's how musically lush the sound is. And 50 years later, it's still making hits. That's how deep our soul music goes. One song that came out almost 50 years ago has been sampled and being used for hits, multiple hits, over the last 30 years. See, that's how deep our music goes. That's how influential it is. That's why we must always be the first to celebrate it. We can't wait for these others to celebrate our shit. We got to do it. Like I always say, look, man, when it comes to music composition, the composers of the 70s, they're better than Mozart. They're better than Beethoven. When you listen to a Gene Page composition, a Leon Ware composition, a James Anthony Carmichael composition, a Paul Reiser composition, you're listening to modern day Mozart. We as black people, we get so caught up in who's your top 5. Or do you like, is it Prince or Michael Jackson? It's both, nigga. Why we always got, here's what we can do to fix things and make sure our music and our sound stays up in the front. We got to stop this ranking and cutting away at our artists. Our music is a plateau of greatness. Kendrick, Tupac, Stevie Wonder, James Brown, Sonny Rollins, Ella Fitzgerald. They're all on the top plateau of our FBA music creators and innovators. Michael Jackson, Marvin Gaye, Count Basie, Muddy Waters, Bo Diddley, Fats Domino. I could keep going on and on. They're all on the same tier. One thing you're not going to get me to do here is to have a goddamn argument about who was better. Who am I feeling right now? That's who was better. Because right now I may be feeling some Stevie Wonder. I might be feeling some songs in the Key of Life right now. If it's real sunny and warm outside, I'm going to be feeling some Earth, Wind & Fire. I'm going to open my sunroof and feel the energy of the day and play some Earth, Wind & Fire, some Parliament. If it's rainy outside and somber a little bit, I'm going to play the Dramatics. I want to go outside in the rain. It may sound crazy, nigga. If I feel like sitting back and smoking a blunt and thinking about life and solving the world's issue mentally, I'm gonna play some Roy Ayers. This side of sunshine, there's music for all us to breathe. Open the window of your mind and then you will see. Excuse my singing, but I'm feeling the music right now. Music is our heart and our soul. Music is the heartbeat of life. Music is the rhythm of life. And we as black people create it all, god damn it. We better step into our greatness and stop using music as a competition to down great blackness. Fuck out of here with that ranking. And inevitably, it's going to be someone in the comment section after this video who didn't get this far into the video that's going to ask me, Dwan, man, what's your top 5? Fill in the blank. My top, this is going to be my answer. My top 5. Number 5, is your mama's smooth skin. I love the way your mama's smooth skin feels. Number 4 is going to be your mama's silky hair. How I run my fingers through your mama's silky hair. Number 3 is going to be your mama's lips. Number 2 is going to be your mama's titties. And number 1 is going to be your mama's dum. I'll be very disrespectful. Why? Because it's low-key disrespectful to try to box all this greatness into 5 artists. That means you have to disrespect James Brown. That means you have to disrespect Jackie Wilson. And I ain't disrespecting none of them. They all great. I played Kool and the Gang Summer Madness on Incense and Ashtrays a couple weeks ago. Y'all better catch up. Thank you, Mark by Smiths. Black people just need to enjoy our greatness. You see these things going around, okay, you can only choose one CD. If you're going to be on an island for a year, you can only pick one album. Which one is it going to be? Fuck out of here. Or which line is yours? The top line, and it'll be 4 CDs on there. The middle line and the bottom line. You can only choose one of these 4. One of these lines. No. If you tell me some shit like that, I'm going to tell you I choose to hit your mama from the front and the back. Don't do that to me. I'm hitting her both ways, brother. Now just put some earmuffs on so you don't hear her screaming in her bedroom. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. I love Slave. I was playing some Steve Arrington and some Slave on the last Incense and Ashtrays. Nobody can be you but you. Don't know. Nobody can be you but you. Don't know. Nigga. Steve Arrington found a way to make a dance song into a song about positivity and love, reminding the world, can't nobody be you but you. But that's one of the funkiest dance tracks ever. Nigga, we great. Go listen to a song by Funkadelic. It's called Good Thoughts, Bad Thoughts. If you want to hear screw music before a screw became a sound, 30 years before a screw became an official genre of music, go and listen to Good Thoughts, Bad Thoughts if you're into screw music by Funkadelic. It's a highly metaphysical song. You ascend to the highest levels of your dominant aspirations. You descend to the lowest forms of your thoughts. Life is an endless unfoldment of new beginnings. It get real deep. Sound like a Bobby Hemmett lecture. And on that same album from Funkadelic, they have a song called Red Hot Mama. Right on, Red Hot Mama, girl, you sure look good to me. Talk about the early days of classic rock, of rock and roll. I mean, not rock and roll, of rock, 80s rock. If you want to know where 80s rock comes from, listen to Funkadelic in 1975. Red Hot Mama. If you want to hear where heavy metal gets a lot of its groove, your Red Hot Chili Peppers, on that same album, listen to Alice in My Dreams. I think it was Alice in My Dreams. I'm naming these songs off the top of my head. Let me go ahead and pull up my iTunes to make sure I got the right song in my mind, because I don't want to be leading y'all down a direction. Y'all be like, I ain't heard that song. What the fuck that nigga talking about? Hold on. Hold on. This is to make sure. Yeah, the Standing on the Verge album. Yeah, Alice in My Fantasies. If you want to hear what a lot of what will become heavy metal sounded like, Go back and listen to Alice in My Fantasies by Funkadelic. 1974. We've done it all. If you want to hear heavy metal when it first got its start, go listen to The Maggot Brain, 1971, or Funkadelic's America Eats Its Young. Or 1970, Free Your Mind and Your Ass Will Follow. Or 73, Cosmic Slop. That's where a lot of your heavy metal comes from. Right there. From the same band that a lot of your funk comes from and a lot of your hip hop comes from. One band is the nucleus to both heavy metal and hip hop. Parliament Funkadelic. We better celebrate our music, niggles. Can't nobody else say that. These people must always be celebrated. These sounds must always be celebrated. Because as long as black people do what we did in the past and create a new sound and keep moving on, other people will jump in that hole, in that vacuum that we left. And we can't have that. We can't have that. Hell yeah, Johnny Guitar Watson, man. I started this show talking about Johnny Guitar Watson and how Eric Clapton is a cheap knockoff of Johnny Guitar Watson. If you listen to Incense and Ashtrays, Johnny Guitar Watson gets played regularly. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah, Johnny Taylor, Bobby Rush, DJ Rogers. People don't know about DJ Rogers. Say yeah, yeah. Say yeah, yeah. You love me. Nigga. Come on now. We have so many greats. We got so many greats. So many greats. Tyrone Davis, Al Green, Teddy Pendergrass, Teddy P, R. Kelly, Ronald Isley, Music Soul Child, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, Anderson .Paak, Robert Glasper, Nipsey Hussle, Kamasi Washington, Freddie Jackson, Max Roach, Lenny Williams. We can look. I will be here all day naming names. That's why we must always celebrate black music. Because as long as we celebrate black music, we're celebrating a direct impact on American culture. We must set the argument. We must set the tone of conversation. It's on us to set the narrative. That's on us. They ain't gonna do that shit for us. We gotta do it, and we gotta stand 10 toes down on it without fear of repercussion or anyone getting mad. Okay? Yeah, there will be a whole breakdown on this tree once it comes out. Yeah, Tyler the Creator, he belongs in there. I agree with that. Donny Hathaway, yeah. Kasif. Terrace Martin. What's up, American Negro? Hell yeah. Cameo. Confunction. The Manhattans. Eddie and Gerald Levert. We celebrate them all here, and as we get ready for Black History, Black Music Month. And we got to be loud about Black Music Month too, people, because we see the LGBTQers are hella loud about turning June into Pride Month. Yeah, June is definitely Pride Month. Pride in Black Americans Music Foundation of the United States, #1 export. We take a lot of pride in our music. That's the pride I'm celebrating in June. My pride in Black music, which is the nucleus to all music. I talked about Donny Hathaway on the last Incense and Ashtrays. That was him playing keyboard. That was Donny Hathaway playing keyboard on Daydreaming by Aretha Franklin. And Hubert Laws on flute. See, they can't, when you listen to the depth of Black music, you can't call us savages. The whole lying narrative of us being savages, the whole lying narrative of us being somehow heavily criminal, that narrative can't stick alongside of the people who create the most peaceful music on earth. How you gonna call us criminals when you took our music? You stole our shit. You the criminal. Rob Trimble said Black gay music is even good. Hell yeah. I fucks with some Sylvester. He was gay in the motherfucker. Luther Vandross was gay. But shit, when I hear that, get the love that you've been missing. So much love takes a long time. Wait for love and you're gonna get ya. Nigga. Luther Vandross was singing that to some nigga named Darnell, probably. But it's still great music. I don't give a fuck who Luther was singing that song to. God damn it. Luther's great. So is Freddie Jackson. So is Freddie Jackson. Dance tonight. I wanna dance with you. He's talking about dancing with a nigga. He's talking about two men's dicks rubbing together on a dance floor. It's all right. I'm gonna dance with a woman to this song. It don't matter what's in your mind, Freddie Jackson. I'm gonna dance with a woman to this song, but hey, you do what you do, my brother. Do what you do. No disrespect, no judgment, no hate. Yeah. Curtis Mayfield, so in love. Now, he wasn't gay, but Curtis Mayfield, man, so in love. Nigga. The staple singers. Come on now. Rashawn Patterson, that's right. Yep. Maxwell. black. No, Maxwell is not FBA, but it's still is FBA music that he's singing. And he did a great job at it. We got to celebrate our greats. All right. I want to thank y'all for listening. New book coming out pretty soon. Got a lot of good shit coming out. My webinars are coming along with the book. A communication masterclass. There's going to be multiple parts to that series on communicating to your family with love, to your coworkers with peace, and to your children with an open heart. I think I came up with a name. Bookmark incenseandashtrays.com. That's getting ready to turn into a full-on music blog. And I want to thank y'all again for listening. Join us with Craig Facts later on today. Hopefully the sound is right the first time around. Hopefully the sound is right this time when we get to Craig Facts. But either way it go, join us. The next Incense and Ashtrays is probably going to be tomorrow night. Friday night is when I do my get down. That'll be the next Incense and Ashtrays. But get ready for Craig Facts. We'll probably be going live around like 4:30 Pacific time. Thank you, Deep Impressions. Remember to comment after the broadcast. And this is just a part of a longer series that we're going to be doing celebrating Black history. This was an overview. We will be going more into depth, and we will be celebrating each branch of this Black music family tree one by one in complete detail, so you know and understand where the sound comes from. Numerology birthday, but I love, happy birthday. I don't know, Quan, your birthday sometime around here. Did I miss it? Did I miss it? I hope I didn't miss your birthday, Quan. But Butter Love's birthday's on Friday. Happy birthday to you. Tomorrow you'll be 6 of diamonds. Butter Love is a 6 of diamonds. Oh yeah, you're on the 18th, Quan. Okay. Y'all know I'm studying these cards right now. I'm about to come out reading you niggas real soon. I'm going to start cardology consultations probably in June or July. But I want to thank y'all again for listening. And remember this: there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up the game. Heart Tunes, you still ain't emailed me your email address so I can send you some free loops. If you don't email info@incenseandashtrays.com, nigga, I'ma slap. Nigga, you want 2 or 3 free loops or not, brother? Email me Heart Tunes so I can send you that. It's in my mind. I just don't have any way to get you these loops, brother. The new, and for everyone else, the new sample packs are going to be live on swagsample.com next month in June. All that stuff is getting ready right now. All right. info@incenseandashtrays.com. info@hotepish.com. All right. Holler at y'all later. No, not Miss Cloud. Heart Tunes. Incense. Don't hit me on missed call. Hit me up at my email, info@incensandashtrays.com or info@hotepish.com. There's a contact form on either one website you can go to. All right? Everyone have a beautiful day, y'all. I'm out.